start, and they want the knife, so they get to start on the CT side, which might be really good because at times Astralis was pretty shaky on their T side of cash. But we see Dignitas decide to go for 5 armors. Why not? Who needs kits or nades for retakes? Only armor for aim duels then.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. The big man plays.
And we see that Astralis has a lot of utility, and they're actually going for a full smoke execute. Coffee gets the first kill.
Yeah, looking pretty decent actually for Astralis, considering that the real plan here is to be on site, and they have displaced the players somewhat. Ooh, they got to win the battle against themselves. Very important. Dupree's able to pick that one up. He wants to keep the aggression going, so he tosses forwards the bomb, and then he redecides, or creates a new decision here to go back into the site defensively, and this seems to be a great decision. He's picking off players left and right. So just Tensky against 3 players. That is not a good look for Tensky. I think that we're going to see a pretty good start from Astralis.
So funny then, a flash would be so handy when it comes to retaking a bomb site.
Are you sure, Janko?
Wouldn't you say so? Or we can all just buy armor and run in and get our heads. Blown off by Dupree, who ends the round with a 4K. And again, great T-pistol strat from Astralis. Bought a lot of utility. They were first in a anti-push default, so to speak, waiting for the CTs. Then they went for a full fake towards the A bomb site, which is something that can work very well, because once you use like 3 smokes and a lot of flashes in a pistol round, the CTs will, probably fall for it. The only problem is you won't have a lot of armor, so if it actually goes towards the aim duels later on, you might be in a bit of a pickle. But Confi gets a great headshot towards Cajun outside B lobby, and Astralis is in a 4v5.
Yeah, and when it comes to the anti-force buys, I'd like to highlight that there is, even if you're playing like the most optimal anti-force buys, there is always going to be something like 10 to 20% kind of variance, and that is when the CTs get this spot where they get an untradeable frag, and that's what the Deagle does. It's like an AWP in that way. It's much harder to hit than an AWP, but untradeable frag regardless. The Scout can sometimes be similar in that sense. So Astralis not panicking, going to go into this site, but there's a player on the fence position, or MBK, and also quad. So they really need to have the nades for these 2 positions. These are 2 of the most scary positions.
They have 2 Molotovs.
They have to Molotov these spots. Okay, forklift and quad. But MSL's by. Oh, this is a great position. Still not able to do too much, though. Gets some good damage in the frag. But that said, it all amounts to a great situation. Rubino on the flank. 3 players dead for Astralis. AK picked up as well, or Galil. Oh dear.
Another anti-force buy round lost by the terrorist team. I mean, the problem I have with this round is, okay, you can say that Cajun couldn't do much. He just got his head ripped off by config there. But then, once you already commit to go A with a 4v5 execute, right? You have a lot of utility. Why not wait and use it properly? You could see that they were throwing smokes and then running in without holding their crosshair when they throw the Molotov towards defense. Lets MSL get 1 kill. If he doesn't get that kill, they've cleared that part of the bomb site completely, basically. And in all of that chaos, Dignitas, by some fast rotations and running in through smokes, getting a couple of quick kills, in the end managed to win the all-important force buy.
It's okay, Janko. It's okay. It's all okay. NIP are playing next. It's fine. It's just fine.
Yeah, I had this amazing stat that out of the 20 pistol rounds NIP won in Pro League, they only lost the 2nd round 2 times, which is a pretty impressive stat, all things considered.
Yeah, I remember Threat telling me about that stat when they were about 10 or 12 into it. And I was like, well, he's like, I think we've won 90% of the. I was like, holy crap!
And obviously,
that's amazing.
Probably one of those. Okay. 3.
Alrighty then. No Kevlar required. Just a P250. Conflict's on the flank though, but he's been spotted, and Carrigan will get a lick of damage in there. But this position with Dupree, he's in CT spawn. He's chilling by the bin that's on fire. Don't know why the bin's on fire, but it is. And now it's a retake situation onto the B-bomb site.
To keep you warm, Dan.
I suppose.
Keep you warm on the cold streets of... What is this? This is in USSR?
Yeah, I think this is in like Chechnya or something. Like.
Definitely cold.
Yeah.
Definitely really cold. As it is in my country of Siberia, which is Serbia.
I used to, for some reason, confuse Siberia Serbia all the time.
Yes,
which
because
is,
you're ignorant.
I know, but I worked very hard, and eventually I stopped calling it Siberia. But that was after living with a Serbian for about a year. so
That usually helps.
it does help indeed.
Yeah, I mean, this round, it was a case which we see from teams from time to time. Them Dignitas playing actually too passive to an extent towards mid, right? And dupreeh managing to get all the way towards short, getting the first kill there. And I think it was because the player who was in connector originally was dinked and he was low HP, so he was a bit afraid to go for wider picks. dupreeh with some great timings gets the 2 kills and gets the 3rd kill from CT spawn. So Astralis brings it straight back.
Yeah, they do indeed, and it's pretty devastating for Dignitas. Maybe thought that they could actually finally get another good start to try to remedy it in this map, but no. Astralis will be charging forth. KGB taking control of short there. Lots of options here for Astralis, to be honest. A, B, everything is doable because at this point there's only one man alive. So there you go. And he's going to get shot in the back by Device. So there you go. It's a 3-1. And when will this end for Dignitas? It really looks like they are...
They need to eco now, basically. But this is when Astralis is most dangerous, right? Because Devices has been like really consistent lately, but when dupreeh goes off, seeing as he's also the entry fragger of the team, that's when, you know, it's really hard to deal with Astralis because he has, I think, 9 kills in the first 4 rounds, which is pretty insane.
Looks like HenryG can get himself a spray down. Bit of a free-for-all there.
That was a fast round.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, I like this from Dignitas as well. You're gonna only have USPs, then go together, try to get at least a kill or 2. If you spread out, probably gonna just get picked apart by the T's anyway. So now you see, this is the problem with all the force buying. Now it's a gun round for them, but config, 1 flash and a kit. They have 4 smokes though, but only 5 flashes to go with them. So it's gonna be really hard for them to hold. As I say that, Rubino gets a kill. I think it was Steven through the smoke probably towards mid.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine Device would lose a battle there to an M4, but Alfred gets himself a push. And that's what's going to be a play that will work. And I've got to say, you know, once they got the early round advantage, it's, I guess, I suppose Config has so many players, he really just is hungry to get that multi-kill with the flash. And that's a good play, but definitely their advantage is going to slowly seep away. But Tensky, I don't know if he even expected to get that second kill. That was like the last bullet of a transfer.
Okay. Not really sure what's going on with Dignitas now, in a sense that 5v4, Config goes for that super aggressive move. Tensky gets 2 kills, then just runs straight towards Squeaky door to open that as well.
What's behind here?
You know, some really aggressive, unnecessary plays. And you know, seeing as how I played with Nico for a long time, and there are people who think he's the best player in the world, and I have people asking me, what is his flaw? You know, does he have a flaw as a player? And if I had to name it, which is probably pretty diminished by now, but he used to go for these aggressive plays when it was not needed, when the team already had an advantage, and then he would just throw that advantage away, basically, because there's you need to. It's important for players to understand when aggression is needed. So let's say like Dignitas now, they didn't have a lot of utility. They have to go for a play of some sorts. Otherwise, the Astralis is probably just going to figure them out and win the round. But if you're in a 5v3, well, then there's no reason for you to go for aggressive plays, to hunt for information, because you can just give that round back to the opposing team. And sometimes because of too big of a desire to make to win the round for your team, there are players who make those mistakes from time to time.
It's actually a really, really good point on that topic, but I'll have to remember to talk about it at the end of this round, as we do have the buy versus buy, and the push is slowly being made here by Astralis over the top and middle. They will spot a distinct lack of presence from the CTs.
Look how the CTs are reacting now. They consciously let go of mid, but once they heard the noise there and realized the T's have mid control, they flashed it themselves in to get control of A main.
Yeah, but unfortunately for them, the push is coming in with savage efficiency so far from Astralis. 2 kills into the long side. Rubino coming straight up to heaven, though, really a really needed play from Rubino to try to get a lot done there, to buy his teammates time and slow that bomb from going down. But he will only get one frag in the end. Harrigan's very low here, so this is a doable situation for the remainder of Dignitas. That is Kirby and Tensky, but Kirby runs into the crossfire, and not much he can do about that. Down to Tensky now, and Tensky's in a bit of trouble. He will be eliminated as well. But to quickly add to that point you were making with Nico, it's really interesting from the perspective of a macro awareness from players to adjust their game based on what's happening on the map and happening with their team, as opposed to just thinking, I'm in a good position to do this, basically, and just like being tunnel visioned as like a degree.
You always need the thought process you should have in a game, in a round, is what's the best move I can make for my team to win the round, and that's it. Pushing towards aiming.
Yeah, the anti-force buy is in effect, but they are losing players here. And another player that's a good example of that is Simple, I think, because Simple's so strong. He can always just go for simple plays and maybe make them work. Yeah. And it's really good to use him as an example, just to see that extreme, because that is Simple. That's why he'd be hard to play with, because you can't. I mean, you have no control over him in that sense. And a player like Simple, let's say you do put the control onto Simple, and you say, okay, don't go for those plays. Then all of a sudden he's going to feel like he's not playing his game, and then he's going to lose confidence. So it's like a weird one.
Another example of what we saw on Overpass, Kirby spends 1200 almost. I mean, you could see in the end that his money is leveled with his teammates, basically. But, if he doesn't go for this, maybe he can drop an op for MSL if he thinks that's a good counter to what Astralis is doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, they're really having their way with Dignitas so far. The 6-2.
The problem is that all the early force buys, when you have force buys going back and forth, it's usually the team who manages to force their opponent on an eco who gets control of the half. And that's what happened because here, even the two force buys, even the two gun rounds they had, they didn't have an optimal buy, basically. And you saw the one round where they let go of mid. It's really hard, even if you get info somewhere else, to defend from a B split without an op, basically. It's hard to put pressure on the B split to buy time for yourself. And you don't have a lot of utility either.
And another round in the bag.
Cleans up. The cleaner, Dan.
Yeah.
Cleans up the round.
Yeah. Like when Henry plays well on our team, and when we're playing Pugs, I call him Henry Hoover. It's like
Henry's probably the guy who tryhards the most in face it pugs.
It's great though. Whatever. It's amazing.
Like elo is everything I care about. Fun is not that elo is fun.
It is king. I like that. I like Henry. I like playing with Henry. It's amazing. And hopefully I can do that more when there's some time off. We'll see.
I think he's slowly losing his mind from playing with you, so I wouldn't counter that.
That is why it's so enjoyable to be the means to his destruction. But we'll see the push come into mid there, very tentatively done, but just a kind of one-on-one. Trade comes in though from Kirby, who now has put his attention towards A, and he's getting himself more than a couple kills, or potential to get more than a couple kills here, as there's, never mind, KGB will shut it down. Nice little kind of peek and tap there from him to try to save the round, and it was very much needed. Kirby was basically putting the stop on the play. Oh, ballsy plant there as well, straight in the open. They know the CTs are close. Device will take down the player on car. They should surely have a good beat on the position of Config, who is making his way along the
Cajun smokes off Device. Kind of a miscommunication there, and I'm not sure. I think Config is a very Devices, but yeah, he still gets the angle through the smoke.
Wow.
I mean, here you see it. This is the problem. This is an example of bad micromanagement from players, right? So, for a short time, Device and Cajun were in a 2v4. After the player from defense dies, and you could still see, I think it was Kirby who was facing. There's no reason for you to face. You give them an aim duel, give them a 1v1. You don't want to do that if you have a numbers advantage. Just play a passive angle somewhere where if he is to shoot at you, then Rubino gets an angle for him to all the way from the car area. And Cajun Device, yeah, they hit some pretty crazy shots, but they're good players. That's gonna happen every now and then. Why give them the chance? That's my point. Why give them the chance? You could have played it more optimally and made it basically close to impossible for you to lose the round.
Yeah, it's actually a really interesting concept as well because, again, Lerpus brought up a long time ago about, in the face of, do you, play the perfect optimal Counter-Strike? A lot of top players know how to, well, they know the principles behind it, they can do it, but for a lot of them, it's not going to be what's probably fun for them to do. And with the volume that of games that they play, it's very interesting because for some players, they will find playing completely optimally as possible. That will be for them fun because to play the game that's the least flawed and has the highest chance of winning consistently, that is going to be fun to them. And that's what somehow Threat has been able to instill in NIP, because NIP right now, to me, are the most disciplined team, and they have all the hallmarks of that.
I mean, for me, it was the same thing when I was playing. Winning was the most fun for me.
Yeah.
So I would play however I need to play in order to win. Obviously, it didn't work out that great. But yeah, I think that's a good point. That also why do people force buy at times, or why do they just buy pistols? It's because it's fun. It's much more fun to play with a Deagle than it is with the USP.
Yeah.
But finally, we see Dignitas able to get a decent buy after that, because now they have the maximum loss points by now.
Yeah, there is actually a funny point about that, because again, if you look at NIP, they have the most buy rounds of any team that plays the game professionally. So that's the irony there. Is that if you play on NIP, you'll be able to get more time with guns to do stuff. But so not a good start here for Dignitas, losing Tensky straight away. Lots of options here for Astralis. Typically, you can see mid take in this kind of position, but because they actually already got a pick, they don't actually need to go for a mid take, and it doesn't seem like they need to do anything right now. They're just getting all the frags before they even go into a bomb site.
I mean, that pick from really wasn't that good, didn't make much sense, but he just went for the duel there, and that was much better from Dignitas, that they flashed with the guy in Squeaky. Unfortunately, Sipnix gets the kill flashed. Then again, they config pushes towards A main, but at that point they lose too many people, and Astralis just goes towards B.
Yeah, really big individual play from Config, and he's going to pick up the AWP as well. And it makes you think that they're just thinking to go for exits. 2 AWPs, what are you going to do on a round like this?
MSL wasn't thinking about that then, it seems.
Yeah.
He was creeping his way towards the B bomb site for some reason. Okay, but at this point, I mean, to be fair, they're losing 9-2 as CT on cash. Basically, you can only save so much, right? You need to try and win rounds by doing whatever you can, because it's going to be extremely hard for them to win 10 rounds on their or more on their T side.
Yeah, especially against the likes of Dignitas. Although, interestingly, one of the sad things actually is that G2, before they lost existence, they actually had some pretty strong set pieces onto some of the bomb sites. Notably, was a match in the ESL Pro League early on in it, which was against Astralis who were on CT side.
I did that game. I remember that.
Yeah.
The B execute that they did, I think 3 times.
I think it was 4 times.
Astralis
actually.
just couldn't do anything against it.
Yeah, and you could see them adapting. I made a video about it because it's so fun to see Astralis being like, we're actually losing just because of this. And then you can see them trying to adjust, and everything they tried was just failing. But obviously that level of depth in G2 doesn't exist anymore, and never seen them run that play on cash since. So either way, Astralis looking to finish things off here. Carrigan just running through middle, wild spray. Why not? Rubino's dead. Kevy's dead. Who else will fall to the in-game leader of Astralis? Oh my god. Janko, this is
madness then. I mean, what you see here from Astralis is they initially, in the beginning of the half, they would throw these smokes for mid and go for a B split. Now they throw the smoke, they send Carrigan out to kind of fake that to draw attention, while his team just basically explodes towards the A bomb site, right? So they're hoping to draw attention from the second player on A, go towards the short area, and they only have to deal with one person on the A bomb site. And I think it worked for them. They did it 2 times. I think it worked both times. Although one of those rounds was the 2v4. But yeah, right now it's just that Astralis is also feeling really confident. They are hitting their shots really nicely, and it's just being a nightmare for Dignitas, it seems.
Yep.
This is where you see a problem of sorts, where maybe if they had a double op setup, or 2 players who would be really proficient with the op, they could maybe go for a 1-3-1 setup, focus on mid, just kill Carrigan without losing anyone. Maybe the opper will get a kill towards A, then they can be on a fast rotate, maybe even flank them by pushing mid, going behind them on A main. But
Yep, it's definitely not to be, but Dignitas this round with some aggression, finding some good results. But there goes Zipex. Oh, almost making that frag there. Had Zipex won that battle, the round likely goes there to Astralis, but instead he will die, and the round will go to Dignitas. They pick up a third, but the best case scenario is just a 4. So, no, are they doing this? Is this happening right now?
What do they want to spam something, or are they just calling them at this point? Occasion is using it to hold B, okay. Dupree probably had a good spawn for mid, misses the jump. Okay, why not? That's when you know everything's going for you, damn, and you get random kills with random timing through the smoke. And Cajun gets the kill on config from T-spawn. That must be so tilting. They're just getting ripped apart by these ops, damn. They just have people walking into their crosshairs. That must have been the easiest round of their lives, damn.
Is this Counter-Strike?
Device bottom fragging with a negative score, and still they win 12 T rounds. Easy.
Is this Counter-Strike? That's all I have to say. Counter-Strike is more things than this, Janko.
Fortunately, in some online games, you can't really make sense of what is happening, but yeah, sometimes things just go right for you. Your players have a great game, like we saw from Dupree. Actually, Config is performing better for Dignitas, but it's just that they're getting dismantled. As a team, basically not much he can do by himself. And we see them going for a B rush, maybe.
B rush. Here it goes. Rubino looking for the entry, and he's going to find it. Carrigan will die by the crates in vent, and now it is down to Astralis to retake this. But it will be difficult. It will be a difficult task, and the bomb will be planted there for the storage. Now,
Sipnuk still towards the bomb.
Yep. No grenades here, but nice headshot there from Tensky. The defense looks fairly solid at the moment here from Dignitas, although they are losing members all of a sudden. Rubino and Config are just dead.
Actually checks that position on Config.
Yeah, and that's
behind the box on mid.
And that's very, very diligent play there. Now it's 1 versus 1. Zipex versus Tensky. Tensky trying to go for the dance here.
Battle of the supports then.
Ah,
Tensky
superior, perhaps, in this round.
This is exactly why a lot of teams play retake on A and have stacks towards B or push B early, because if you just have 1 or 2, even 2 players there, if they don't hit their initial shots while the T's are rushing, then you will just get overwhelmed. And once you have control of the B bomb site, you need a lot of grenades to be able to retake it. In my opinion, that's just something you don't have in this round. So pays off for Dignitas.
It does indeed, but we've got the force coming in from Astralis, just going all the way, perhaps looking to have some fun. 2 scouts finding a tag onto him himself, and Tensky, oh, they're going to run into his crosshairs here now, and it looked like it could have been it could have looked like there was some potential here, but in fact, after that UMP play, it's pretty much the GG in this round, surely. There you go. And it felt like Dignitas just kind of ran in there. Didn't seem all that eloquent.
Yeah, that's what's their basically go-to anti-eco, anti-force by round. They go in pretty fast, basically. On Mirage, they will rush B, and it becomes a problem when you do it all the time, because then people just anti-strat you and just throw nades. That's what Mouse did against them, I think, at Leipzig. But actually, it's better than just staying spread around without a clear plan, in my opinion.
Yeah, so that's like another anti-eco coming in, just going into mid here for Dignitas. It is just a formality, although there will be 1 frag made. It's not going to amount to too much, and Astralis, due to the fact that they didn't really do a huge amount of damage, in fact, what, 2 kills in 2 rounds, and they force bought, they don't really have a good selection of grenades here. If they have a kit, that would be amazing, but they're going to get helmets, which they could definitely not. They definitely don't need to get helmets here, and they could definitely get a kit.
This is something that triggers Henry a lot.
Yeah.
When you have a great half, and instead of just ecoing and playing the percentages, playing for the gun rounds, they force and now have a weak buy. And Dignitas have a good chance of getting to a great start.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree there. And just the fact that, you know, they don't cut those corners of the helmets as well to have a kit. And how many rounds have we seen like this, which is lost by not having a kit? It's actually astronomical, because you expect more grenades from the Ts. Them getting on a bomb plant is much more likely than in a lot of other rounds, because you don't have the nades to stop them. And the lack of kit can be painful. But either way, it's a 4 versus 3 and some damage. I think Kirby suffered a headshot there from a teammate, so he is down to 64. That's not going to help things too much. Ooh, that is a strong battle there from Kirby. A very short one as well, as the tap finds its way to a CT immediately. And now the push comes into the B-bomb side. HenryG is the only guy there. He's been doing well, though, so far here. And there is the first frag. Ooh, just able to get to safety, and his teammate's going to clean up Config, who was very focused on finishing off HenryG. Now Kirby against 3 players. I don't think he spots Device, and Device, unfortunately for him, will spot the frag. So there is the 13-6. So Astralis, despite not having the most optimal buy that they should have had, they will still win.
I think this play from HenryG is a good example of the difference between maybe tier 1 and tier 2 players, right? A lot of players would just flash for themselves, then peek, and he just flashed and bought time for his teammate to flash for him with a better flash, and after that he peeks, gets the 1 kill, and then just continues to stay alive and buy time for his team to rotate because they had the number advantage.
Indeed. It's great to see all those little touches. If you download the demos of these matches, you'll see a lot more stuff like that, which cannot be all be taught by the perspective that we hold on from our observer. So here is Tensky just harassing the door, and dupreeh is P90ing from Forklift, which has been altered so that you can actually shoot more reliably through it.
I think they want to flash him in here. Yeah.
Yes, P90, in we go. Glorious P90. Glory is not to be had, but Zipex is there to support. Gets the refrag. Let's get pushed out of position. Nice Molotov there from Dignitas. And now KGB alone by quad, but the rotation has come in. All the CTs essentially have their attention on the A site now. KGB needs to make some frags here, though. There's the first one. And Tensky looked like he was blind or something, couldn't really spot an engagement onto KGB. And now it's down to Rubino. 17 HP, shot in the face by a USP, and Device will be the one picking up that frag. And looks really good here. Device actually got a lot of frags if you consider that he was massively bottom fragging previously. I think he had 6 frags or something. Now he's got 13.
Yeah, 6 to 8 was his score. And I mean, the initial frag from Device, he throws a smoke, and then thinking that, you know, the T wouldn't expect anyone to peek, he just goes for a static peek and gets the kill. Not much you can do against that one. It's just a duel at that point, gives them an early advantage, and then they just get 2 kills on the A1.
Well, very fast play coming in the next round here from Dignitas. dupreeh going absolutely mental there. And that's 2 quick kills in response, and that was very much needed there. And oh, that nade could be money. Yes, it is. Tensky is dead, and now it's just down to MSL with 15 points of health. He needs to plant the bomb as well. And the CTs, he actually has opportunity, but he doesn't know how close they are. And he's going to run into Device. And that's going to be a sad... Oh, he heard him. He must have heard him. Device, will he be fast enough? No. Now it's a winnable round here for MSL.
Again, then, 2v1, going for these plays that are, I mean, risky, but I understand the thought process of the guys, and MSL wins the round.
Boom.
In a 1v2, because the players move around a bit, they probably know that they, you know, hurt him a lot, that he was low HP, and, you know, he wouldn't have expected that if Device didn't run as much, but you could play it differently and still give him less of a chance to win the round. Obviously, it's 14-6 at this point, so, you know, the players are a bit relaxed and, you know, going for this, for these plays. But, you know, if you are going to think about what was the best play, that certainly wasn't it.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's more points to discuss there in a moment, but let's see if Device can get something. There's number 1, but that's it. Nice transfer from Kirby. That's pretty great stuff from him. What else can happen for the Astralis side? Obviously, they don't have anything to work with, so expectation is set low. But it is, I mean, for me, as far as, you know, talking about feeling a bit more relaxed in this position, I like it when teams in all their matches just play as disciplined as possible, because it's good practice to actually always maintain this mindset.
Yeah, I agree. But maybe, you know, at times like it's just normal to an extent. You know, an online game, you have a good lead, you don't think you're going to throw it away. But that's how every comeback starts, right? You rarely have a comeback where a team just outplays their opponent every single round. You know, it usually involves some mistakes from that team, some greedy plays or too aggressive plays that your opponent capitalizes on and wins the round that maybe they shouldn't have.
Yeah, and then you go into a disadvantage as you lose money, and you're like, we can't buy now. And
like Zipnik's killing Tensky through the squeaky door on both sides. just has his number on that one.
Yeah, the squeaky extraordinaire. Actually, a player that's very, very good at squeaky play is Nico. Nico is absolutely beast on T and CT side on squeaky. He's probably the player to watch if you play that position. Watch Nico demos on this map immediately.
I mean, as Dupree gets, he didn't see him. I thought he saw his foot there.
Maybe he's playing 4-3. Either way, it's a flank from HenryG. There's flanks all over the place, pushes all over the place, and now KGB is cleaning up, and that's the 15-8. Looks like Dignitas are going to be in a lot of trouble now. I'm not sure exactly how their money looks. Okay, it's not great. It's not great, but they can get some AKs in there.
It's okay, yeah. But just a quick point for that, you mentioned Nico towards the squeaky door. We actually had, I mean, not strats, but we had plans to just, you know, make it so that he has room to play out of that position, like draw someone towards mid, then he can have a duel with him on highway once he opens the door.
Right.
Because, I don't know, 4 times out of 5 he wins that duel. It just gives you an advantage for free. But Device is in a good position for this B push. Oh, he hears the flash and immediately turns. That's a good decision.
So here we go. It's going to be Device trying to make the first action happen, and he'll be able to actually keep himself alive here. But the push is still very, very strong, very prominent on the bomb site, and eventually Dignitas will find the better of the CTs. Astralis having to go for a retake now. It's Dupree and Zipex. Wow. Okay, that is right on the noggin, that one. Good push there from Dupree there with the flash. Wins the battle, almost getting the second as well. Giving some damage to Kirby. That's some good opportunity now for Zipex to get in there to win these fights, but he won't do it, which is now going to be a 15-9 situation. So this is interesting because, as you were saying, that's how every comeback starts. Little mistakes here or there, complacency, and now Dignitas have the 3 rounds to build money, and Astralis need to double eco. They should just double eco here, just full ecos.
I mean, this is the worst situation, right? Because Device has 1400, Zipex has 1800, so with 1 eco they won't have a good buy, but you have 2 players with 1 3K, still have a decent buy, so this is where you either maybe force or eco, so that, you know, as a team go for a buy, maybe the players with low money, they can also play.
The philosophy I always enjoy the most in this spot is because you only need 1 round, find a way to get the most buy rounds you can possibly get in the remaining rounds, which is why I really like the double save. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with that is that, you know, in this situation they only have maybe 2 of those rounds left, or 2.5, so to speak. You know, and you get outplayed in one of them, you make a mistake in the other, and then it's suddenly that was the point, right? That's why you want to play as disciplined as possible, because, you know, your opponent can always outplay you. There's always a chance for that as well.
Yeah, you have to give yourself enough of a buffer to kind of count for the variance. Because sometimes you can just lose, and it's not down to skill. Sometimes it's just the variance.
Or you can just unleash Dupree with 1 digs from the forklift. Why not?
That works as well. And this is really going to put the pressure on Dignitas now, because they're going to be considering, okay, we need to just get into a side here. Although Dupree will get eliminated by config, but all the CTs now are starting to rotate. There's only 1 in B storage. He's pushed, so Astralis realized that it's most likely going to be all about the A site right now, and they will be correct. Look at HenryG here, very forward. Although HenryG is going to hear them running if they go for this.
That's why he turned towards the wall. It's not because he has wall hack guys, it's because he wanted to hear better and of course get shot in the back in the end. Good call from Dignitas to go towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, really good call. Making sure that they're able to remove the possibility of getting wrecked on that A rotation. And there you go, 15-11, and now the buy is coming from Astralis. They need to they have to just close this straight away. You know, in their position, they just need to get this done right here and right now, because otherwise they're going to start to feel like, guys, we won this game, but we might lose this
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
What's going
The
on?
game is won, but not yet. I mean, the game is
Yeah.
not going to be won by itself, right? And we see going for a quick win.
Yes, and the trade comes in immediately. So definitely going to be favouring the terrorist side a little bit as the CT defence is more spread. And Dignitas have loads of time to play with. A minute 30 to play with in this position is godlike for any caller on the T side. But Kirby's actually going to work his way into short here. He wants to get those engagements. I don't blame him. A highly skilled player, you want to give him this position. There's the first kill from Kirby. He's in such a brilliant spot to just win the round for his team. He's going to pick up the next fragment to Dupree. Kirby is just cleaning the floor with Astralis right now with that push up short by himself, and he gets 3 kills.
Again, the power of mid control and some miscommunication maybe from Astralis players or bad timing. They wanted to flash Dupree into A main, but Sipnix maybe wasn't aware that Kirby was already at high bay and setting up for that flash. He just gets shot in the back, and Kirby gets a triple kill running into the A bomb site. And now it's going to be 15-12 for Dignitas. Device saves an op. But his team is not going to have enough money for a buy. They're probably going to go with pistols, maybe just a Kevlar without head armor or some smokes. Which is again a round you can win, but it's probably going to be 15-13 before Astralis has a really healthy buy.
Yep, it is becoming quite doable here for Dignitas. What position were they in? How many rounds were they down before this all happened? I guess this kind of happened gradually. We can see
it was 14-6, then 15-8.
God damn. God damn.
Yes, Dan. That's how quickly it becomes a 15-12 and you have no money. I mean, it's always, these rounds are really hard to play against, especially against a player like Device. As we saw on Overpass, he moves a lot with the op. So you basically need to play it as a gun round of sorts. If you just play a default, he can pick you off, maybe with a good aggressive play. If you just rush into it, you rush in, and okay, he goes for a stick.
Wow, Dupree. That is pretty massive. Just 2 1-digs out of nowhere.
I didn't even see that he got 2. I thought he only got to 1.
Yeah, 2
That's
massive
insane.
kills. But the problem is that Karrigan doesn't have a weapon to play with, and Squeaky must still be open. I'm pretty sure I saw an AK on the floor behind him. There's one there as well. Does he want to pick up guns? Okay, there it is. Oh, I can't make the first kill there. Interesting stuff. And the BM from Rubino just persistently jumping on people's corpses, unloading his magazine, his clip, whatever the hell you call it.
Was that the only thing he was unloading then?
I should think so. What else? What are you suggesting, Janko? Where are you going with this?
Moving swiftly on. Astralis actually now with all the nades they need, all the guns they need as well. Device yet again going towards that B bomb site, and we see them focusing on it. They're going for a counter boost.
Yeah, once the flames have gone away, boost will commence, and Kevy's just not, he's not staying and holding. No one's holding this. HenryG's going to drop in from behind. There is the fast frag. Spots the bomb as well, but gets taken down. Now, this actually kind of sucks for Astralis a little bit, because it's early in the round and they go 4 versus 4.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an interesting position Cajun found himself in. Probably couldn't have gotten more than that, all things considering, but Config manages to get a pick on Zipix as well on the A-bomb side.
Yeah, and right now for Astralis, one of the most important factors, Device with the AWP, he's just holding B. I mean, of the 3 players, if you're going to have one guy on a site, it should be Device holding by himself with the AWP, and Dignitas looking to perhaps recommit into A now. And Astralis, I mean, there's been sufficient delay from Dignitas that they have to question what the play will be. And Dupree, what is he doing? Is he going to get flashed in here? Oh, this is big. This could be absolutely massive. They're all blind. Dupree with the double on the spray down. That's a massive play. Good information there as well for Device to be able to make his rotation in. And he will find some cross shots if they try to go and pressure Karrigan on the bomb side directly.
They know there's one more player there because of the flash. He still gets the kill.
And Device is smoked off as well. So he's got to go in close. The clutch here, Tensky versus Device. 20 seconds to play with to plant the bomb. And Device is smartly waiting. Although, will he get impatient? Tensky's almost committing here if he goes any further to having to make the frag, but he's going to go back for the plant, the safe play. And that now is the cue for Device to move forwards to try to find Tensky. But it is often a gamble. Which side Will he peek? Device trying to get some info with the jump. But there is Tensky just waiting for Device to avail himself. And Device spots it. Great shot there from Device. He's going to win the round with 6 points of health. One more bullet had connected. Had it been... I'm not even sure if he connected with the legs or what, but that was really close. But Dignitas will lose. Astralis win in 2 maps. And that is it's a scary second map, but it looked convincing all the way. And had it gone to a third map, probably would have been the same story.
Yeah, great composure by Device in the end.